Zimbabwe's finest radio. ZiFM Stereo.
Right. In case you didn't know, today is actually World Pharmacists Day. So every year on the 25th of September, the world celebrates pharmacists to honor the contributions of pharmacists around the globe.
Yeah, and we are joined in the studio with two pharmacists that I think are going to clear out some allegations and clear out some misconceptions and let us know about what the day actually means. Welcome to ZiFM Stereo. Like I say, two pharmacists. We're joined by Nicholas Muparadzi and Ropafadzo Sibanda. Welcome to ZiFM Stereo, guys. How are you guys doing?
All right. Thank you so much, Tatenda. How are you?
We're doing great. And
that's nice.
Happy Pharmacist Day to you guys.
Thank you so much for
the first question I'm going to ask you is, what inspired? Let me start with you, Nicholas. What inspired you to pursue this career?
Okay, thank you so much, Tatenda, and first and foremost, thank you for inviting us. For me, it was really something personal. My father was he had a medical condition called gout arthritis,
Right.
When you eat a lot of red meat.
Right.
So I always saw him struggling with his leg. It was very painful, and you'd go to a pharmacy and you'd be given some
medication,
couple of pills, then you text them and everything gets normal. And I was like, you know what, I really need to know what's going on here.
That's pretty cool. And for you, Ropa, what inspired you rather to pursue this career?
So I have a mentor, someone that I look up to. This guy, he did pharmacy. His name is Tinashe Mjiti.
Mm-hmm.
He did pharmacy and he was doing really well. And I loved the way he impacted people's lives. I met him 2 years before I even started pharmacy.
Really?
And I knew that's the one for me.
And you were telling us off air that after your A-levels, you didn't really do so well. You had to go back because you had the eyes on the prize, which is what you wanted to do, being a pharmacist.
Yes. So let me start by saying it's not easy to go back and do something again.
Especially when your friends are progressing.
Yeah, especially when your friends are progressing. But if you really want something, you need to really work hard to get it. And just for people out there, young people who have tried, honestly speaking, school is hard. But if you try again, you keep on trying
Right.
and again. Because what I did, I knew what I wanted. It was really hard, guys, when I failed the first time. I only failed with 8 points. I had 8 points and missed just a few to do pharmacy.
to get to.
But I had to
the
go
mark.
back and do it again. And here I am,
Here you
living
are.
my dream, guys.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Ropa,
Congratulations.
for mentioning that, because it's actually a real thing. I got a U, I think, in chemistry or whatever, O level, and I just decided to drop it completely.
Was it because it wasn't a passion of yours, maybe?
No, I just wasn't getting it. I think
But I
just
thought it's
chemistry
actually simple
and
stuff.
physical science. Hey.
Chemistry.
Chemistry and physical science. I saw flames.
It's not simple,
Just
guys.
It's not
Please.
simple. Hey, Nicholas, please stop flexing over here. So, it's good for parents to actually know, especially for their children, that you can try again. Because maybe if I had written again, I was going to pass it. Who knows?
Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So I'm interested to know, Ropa, how do pharmacists ensure patient safety when dispensing medicines?
So in a pharmacy, I've been working in a pharmacy for 3 years. I've been working at CIMAS, 35 5 Avenue Pharmacy.
Right.
All right.
Trust me, it's the best. So working in a pharmacy, we do a 3-point checking system. So if I dispense the medication, someone else is going to pack it for me and someone else is going to check it for me. And
Right.
I will give it to the patient whilst checking. So that's how we actually ensure that the medication that you're getting is the correct one and the dosage and everything, because sometimes we receive prescriptions that are errored.
Right.
So you need a pharmacist who really knows that this dose is not appropriate for this person. So
And
you
I
can
think Nicholas
adjust
wants to
it.
add on to that as well.
And also just to add, we also have what is known as the 6 R's. We have to check that the right patient is given the right dose, in the right amount, and they are given the right dosage frequency, and so on.
Right, which is pretty cool. And speaking of that, because it's like any other workplace, what are some of the common challenges that you face with patients when they come in wanting to get their drugs? I'll start with you, Nicholas.
Okay, so it's very common that most patients would come and say that I saw someone, my neighbor, they were taking amoxicillin for that, and I also want the same. And then we try to explain that to them that you need a prescription for this, and it's a very common challenge, but we always refer patients to doctors if the drug actually requires a prescription. However, there are some, drugs that can be initiated by the pharmacist which do not need a prescription, and we also have over-the-counter medication.
Over-the-counter medication,
Over-the-counter.
yes.
Yeah. Now, I actually wanted to ask about that. You're talking about over-the-counter medication. How do you keep up with new drugs? Research. There's a lot that keeps on coming in. How do you keep up with that?
How are you keeping up with Ozempic? I think it's one of the most commonly trending drugs at the moment. People are using it for weight loss and all of that. Maybe we need to cover the misconception about that. But maybe to answer Val's first question, how are you keeping up with new drugs that are coming in and how Zimbabweans are taking it as well?
So with pharmacy, you are allowed. They want you to do continuous learning all the time to show. So the test that you actually do every 3 months when you are a pre-registration pharmacist, and every year for a pharmacist.
Then when you start practicing as a pharmacist, every year you need to meet a certain minimum number of points, continuous professional development.
Yeah.
So the knowledge that I learned at the University of Zimbabwe back in 20 something.
Chakadaro.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
There are new innovations
that are being used. For example, there's now a new pre-exposure prophylaxis which lasts 6 months.
Right.
But back then you had to take a pill. Every day. So we do workshops where you are supposed to acquire knowledge on new drugs, and it's mandatory for every pharmacist.
So I'm assuming you guys have a board that you register to and you abide to, especially if you want to continue practicing.
Yes.
And how do pharmacists work with doctors and nurses as part of a healthcare team?
So to take you back a little bit, there's a question that you asked regarding the challenges.
Yes.
One of the most important challenges that we face in a pharmacy is people come to the pharmacy with their frustrations. Working with people, guys, is not the easiest.
It's a lot, eh?
I can imagine.
It's not the easiest. Someone can come in, they're frustrated.
They're sick.
They're sick. Someone they love is sick. So you have to literally be patient with them. You need to have a lot of care for you to deal with people. Working with people is hard.
All right, Nicholas, can you share a story about a challenging patient interaction where you had to use like your communication or ethical skills to resolve a serious medication issue?
Okay, so there was this time I was working at a pharmacy in Harare. Then there was this patient who apparently they were abusing some drugs, and they came. They presented themselves at the pharmacy violently,
right?
And the whole customers were actually looking at the person and
like, wait, what's going on?
What's going on? Drug abuse is actually
an actual thing.
Actual thing that is that is affecting a lot of people. And when you have not heard firsthand sight or seeing it with your own eyes, you think that people
it's a lie.
But it's actually happening. And we had to
calm him down,
be empathetic and sympathetic, sympathize with the patient.
Is it something that you are taught as well at med school to say, hey, this is how you carry yourself, this is how you talk to, or maybe you just have to use your own discernment and character as well?
No, we actually had a course at the university called Pharmacy Practice, where you are supposed to learn how to practice the profession,
how to handle people.
That's why we have a system that when someone acquires their pharmacy degree from outside the country, when they come to the country, they have to sit for some certain exams to make sure that they are capable of practicing in
the country.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking of technology and the way things have changed. What impact has technology had on pharmacy practice today?
Okay, so
AI.
From a community pharmacist perspective, back in the days, we used to write everything down. A patient comes in with a book. We had to write the
with your terrible handwriting.
And write the label instructions.
That's terrible.
But nowadays, things are just simple. We have a software
system
that we use. And you just type some sort of certain ciphers, and the labels comes out with the proper instructions. So we need to embrace technology as a country.
Yeah. And for you, Ropa, how do you see, or where do you see the practice in the next maybe 5 to 10 years with technology being introduced, like what Nicholas is saying, we need to embrace it. Where do you see the practice going with new innovations and technology?
So what's happening? Let me just tell you a little bit about pharmacy since today's career day.
Yes.
Pharmacy does not only comprise of retail, what you guys know, going into the pharmacy, but pharmacists don't just do that. Pharmacists work in industry. You can be a production pharmacist. You can work at a wholesale. So now with technology, it's helping in Cosfarm with this. Seasons, we have a manufacturing plant in Zimbabwe.
Right.
So they are automated. No one has to go and literally put tablets into a bottle and then close it, and then the sticker. So it's automation. So, and we also have ProFarm in pharmacies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. We're going to take our first break, but when we come back, if you have questions that you want to ask our two pharmacists that are in the studio with us, today is World Pharmacy Day, and we are celebrating them and appreciating the work that they're doing. And maybe you have a son, a daughter that might particularly want to get into this field. We're going to talk about that, all that and more coming up.
All right, we're back again. And of course, today's World Pharmacists Day on the 25th of September. We're with Nicholas and Ropa with us in studio. The intelligent ones, the ones that are judging us that got D's in chemistry and physics.
You know what? They're just looking at you like,
It is
okay, maybe
well.
you could have put a little bit more effort. There was a chance for you to do
Guys,
that.
I'm on this side. I'm on the outside, okay? Yes.
There still is a chance.
Jasara.
Like I want round 2 with chemistry now.
The periodic table is
Yes.
tough, guys. I don't know.
All right, I've got something interesting that I want to find out. It's to do with the rise of vaccinations, right?
Yeah.
Especially during COVID, there were a lot of vaccines happening, and chronic disease management literally changed the pharmacist's role from a dispenser to a primary healthcare provider. So how has this rise changed that role for you guys, for pharmacists?
Okay, so generally we are moving. The pharmacy profession is evolving from just dispensing, giving the patient.
Yes, which is
medicines,
what people think, which is a misconception, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It is. Oh, yeah.
And just like what Ropa was saying, there is a lot that can be done in pharmacy. The actual drug is manufactured by pharmacists.
Right.
So there is a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of research that is done. There's a lot of. But then going back to the issue of vaccines. So vaccines, they offer immunity to the person, such that when you are injected, it's actually an attenuated form of the virus that you are injected
Right.
to, which then gives your body some form of immunity against the actual virus.
Absolutely.
So that's how vaccination works. So it's actually good for the public health of the country. So like I was saying, that we're moving from being a dispenser to being patient care. These days when you go to a pharmacy, the pharmacists will actually take their time to talk to you. Here are the expected, some common side effects of the drug, some alternatives, and you can even ask to see the pharmacist and they can tell you more about the drug that you have been
Exactly.
prescribed for.
And I've seen situations where people go straight to the pharmacy and explain what's happening to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Especially those off-the-counter type of situations. Say, oh, how are you feeling? What's your temperature like? They can even check your blood pressure
Yeah.
and your temperature, and then they can help you with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And speaking of vaccines, Zimbabwe has been selected as one of the just 10 countries worldwide to roll in a groundbreaking HIV prevention drug. It's a new innovation that is coming into the country. When we have a new innovation like this, you as pharmacists, what goes into your profession, what goes into your day-to-day lives towards catering for such new inventions? I'll start with you, Roba.
Okay, so pharmacy is regulated by two boards, actually, the Pharmacists Council and the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe.
Right.
So with every new drug that comes into the country, it has to be tested first
Okay.
through the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, so that they can make sure it's safe for consumption by people in Zimbabwe.
Right.
So with this drug, we would like it, when it gets registered, we'll be so happy to introduce it to our clients because it's offering what we want, convenience.
100%.
We don't want people to be taking medication all the time. If they can take it twice a year, that's a bonus. So
It is 100% a bonus.
Anything to make the client feel better.
We got a question. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Maybe just to add. So the Medicines Control Authority, I will just give general information as I do not work there. But they are responsible for the registration of the product, which is the medicine, the medical devices, and all the medicines in Zimbabwe. So they have several divisions that that register the medicines. And before a drug is registered in Zimbabwe, there's a lot of clinical trials that go through, that the drug go through. A lot of dossiers, they are submitted to the Medicines Control Authority, and the experts, they evaluate the information that is submitted, and they check to see if that this drug is actually safe for the public of Zimbabwe.
Right.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of questions that are coming in on the WhatsApp number. If you want, you can send us a question on 0772 168 Good morning. My question is it true that there are some illegal practices, same with doctors, whereby you can get some offers or bonuses by certain pharmaceutical companies to recommend and use their products more? And if it's true, how is that tackled? This is Francis in Glentana.
Okay, so we do have the boards that regulate, the pharmacists, and the boards that regulate the health professionals, which is the Health Professions Authority, and we do have the Medicines Control Authority, which regulates the drug. So we do encourage the members of the public that if they see any anomalies or any discrepancies,
right,
they should send a report, straight to the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe. They have an anonymous tip off line where you can just say, I'm not sure of, what happened. So we do.
All right. Yeah. So what advice would you have? This is Career Guide. What advice would you have to someone who's in school, who's listening and wants to pursue a career in pharmacy?
Personally, I would say that, for example, if you are still in your A-levels and you're about to write your A-levels, just, give it the best push, maximize the number of days left before your exam, the exams, pass, excel in school. Then if you meet, I'm not going to lie, the minimum requirements for you to get a position to study pharmacy, these days we're talking about 14 points,
with an A in chemistry.
Yeah, and that is the minimum.
I'm looking at you, Fal. A in chemistry.
I know.
And that is the minimum, and it depends with the number of students that get 15 points in that year.
Right.
So sometimes you may not get the placement.
Exactly.
So just excel. Pharmacy is a good profession. There is a lot you can do, and just to aid the clinical trials that we were mentioning, pharmacists work there. The manufacturing that we were talking about, pharmacists manufacture the drugs. The actual research from the plant to make the paracetamol. Pharmacists do that. Then, of course, the majority of the public know those guys, the pharmacists who are in the community pharmacies. Then there's also hospital pharmacists and so on.
Interesting. Ropa?
So what I would like to say to people that really want to pursue a career in pharmacy is if others could do it, you can too. So it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But if you put your mind to something, it's worth it. So just keep on pushing, guys. Try and
as hard as you can.
So now the good part about it, it's not a guarantee, because if you have 15 points that you're going to get pharmacy, they now have psychometric tests that you have to do. You have to go for an interview. So it's all about the person, really.
Yeah,
because we don't want to produce pharmacists who are only conscious of medication and do not have care for their patients.
That's true.
So you need to have patient care at heart for you to do
and
pharmacy.
This
for it job, guys, have passion for it. Because if you don't have, it's really hard. You're meeting people all the time. People are coming frustrated. They want you to help them out. And if you're not really passionate about the job,
it's going to be a difficult one.
It's going to be a difficult one.
All right, so this one has nothing to do with pharmacy. I just want to find out what you guys listen to. Do you listen to music at your workplace? Do you listen to music at the gym? I'll start with you, Rob. Is there an artist that you probably say, hey, this one is the one that I love listening to?
A Zimbabwean artist.
A Zimbabwean artist.
Yes, I love Japreza, guys.
Just like Nicholas?
Just like Nicholas.
Okay, so let's go with Japreza.
For me,
Rushowa
is the thing. All right, any shout-outs?
Yeah, I would like to shout out to Pumula Rambe. She's standing by there.
Oh, she's right here with us.
She's right here. She's a very good friend.
Nice.
Nicholas?
Okay, I would like to maybe give out the contact number for the pharmaceutical
That was going to be my next question. Oh, yes. To say there's a number that you mentioned. Please give us the number. So if
you want to contact the Pharmaceutical Society of Zimbabwe, you can call or send a message on 0781 170 515. Then I would like to give a shout out to my mom and my wife, Veronica, and my in-laws.
They're listening, hey?
Nice. And this is for you guys. Job praise are coming through with Rujo.
And happy Pharmacist Day to you.
Thank you so much. Wow. And